I'd like to call the November 3rd, 2025 Oakwood City Council meeting to order. Would you please rise and join me with the pledge to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call, please, Lori?
Mayor Duncan?
Here.
Vice Mayor Byington?
Here.
Mr. Stevens?
Here.
Mrs. Turbin?
Here.
Mrs. Jackson?
Here.
Thank you. And may I have, excuse me, may I have a report of our minutes for our October 6th regular session, work session, and executive session, October 7th executive session, and October 20 executive session. Councilmember Jackson.
Yes, Mayor Duncan, I've read the meeting minutes of the executive session, work session, and regular session on Monday, October 6th, and the executive session on October 7th, and the executive session on October 20th. And upon review, I found them to be complete and correct, and I move that we accept the minutes as written.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So ordered. We have no status reports tonight, but we will immediately switch to announce our Scarecrow Row contest winners. Before we do that, I'd like to congratulate Councilmember Stevens for having excellent weather, even though he delivered that to us from afar. He was unable to attend, but whenever we need good weather for any City of Oakwood event, we ask Rob to deliver it to us, and he did a fine job.
Thank you, Mayor Duncan. Thank you very much.
Okay, so this is, I see you're showing a bunch of pictures.
Cool.
Okay, okay, and so there's our third place winner. It was Witches, Whiskers, and Tea Party by Maeve O'Connor, and that was an excellent third place winner. And I also want to thank Vice Mayor Byington for assisting me as the judge, and we had Chuck Ballage in his police uniform, making sure that, we were not accosted by the citizens wanting to get their prizes. So, and that worked out very well. Our second place winner, 75 years of spectacular service by the Oakwood Beautification Committee, and we have already given those awards to our people, so one of our fine members of our beautification committee is here, and thank you for coming. You did a good job as usual. And our first place winner was, hopefully I can pronounce this properly, Otono Muertos by De Los Muertos. No, not even close.
Get a refund on your babble.
But it was pretty nice. And so now that we're back speaking English, the Mayor's Award went to A Very Mad Tea Party by the Ginkgo family. So congratulations to all those winners. And we look forward to doing this event again next year. And we might have to call Rob Stevens out of retirement. So we'll play that by ear. Do we have any other visitors that wish to address council at this time? If so, please come down and state your name and address at the podium, and we would welcome you. Okay, seeing none, hearing none, we'll close the visitor section of our meeting and go immediately to legislation. And Vice Mayor Byington has a couple of ordinances.
Yes, Your Honor. These are both second readings. The first one is an ordinance to amend Section 1 of the 2025 Original Appropriation Ordinance Number 5009 and any existing supplements thereto to provide for the appropriation of a interfund transfer within the General Fund, Street Maintenance and Repair Fund, Leisure Activity Fund, Service Center Fund, and Water Operating Fund, reallocating money from the personnel subfunds to the operating subfunds, therein for costs associated with utilizing contractors for certain operational functions instead of city employees. This is a supplemental appropriation that was introduced with its first reading, as I mentioned, at our October meeting. Within each of the city's accounting funds, expenditures are allocated between personnel and operating expenses. Personnel expenses are the wages and benefit costs for city employees. Anything else is characterized as operating expenses. This year, we've had several retirements of key employees, as well as a hiring freeze while we were conducting an organizational assessment of the Public Works and Leisure Services departments. As a result, contractors were used to ensure that we had no disruptions to the city services. To pay for these contracted services, we need to reallocate some of the budgeted funds from the personnel to operating. This ordinance only changes that allocation. It does not change overall spending levels. So this is a second reading of this ordinance, and I move that the council adopt it this evening.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments for Vice Mayor Byington? Hearing none. Lori, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Duncan?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Byington?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mrs. Turbin?
Yes.
Mrs. Jackson?
Yes.
And I believe you have an
Yep.
additional ordinance?
This is the ordinance to create a new fund within the fiscal records of the city to be known as the Payroll Clearing Fund. This is also a second reading of an ordinance to create a new payroll clearing fund within the city's accounting records. It will allow the finance department to segregate entries relating to payroll administration, streamlining the management and disbursement of employee pay, withholding, and remittances. After council adopts this ordinance, the funds must also be approved by the state auditor before it can be established. This is a second reading of this ordinance, and I move that council adopt it this evening.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions for Vice Mayor Byington? Hearing none. Lori, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Duncan?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Byington?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mrs. Turbin?
Yes.
Mrs. Jackson?
Yes.
Thank you. And now I believe Councilmember Turbin has an ordinance.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. This is an ordinance to amend Appendix A, which is the Public Services Rate Sheet of the Oakwood Streets and Public Services Code, to increase the water service rates and the sanitary sewage service rates. This is an ordinance to increase water and sanitary sewer rates. The city operates 4 services as public utilities: water, sanitary sewer, stormwater, and refuse. Each of these are supported primarily by user fees and not by general tax revenues. The city manager has recommended responsible rate increases for the water and sanitary sewer utilities in order to meet operational and upcoming capital needs. The increase would take effect on January of 2026. The rate changes were presented to the Citizen Budget Review Committee as part of the 2026 budget briefings this fall, and their response was positive. This is a first reading of this ordinance, so I make no motion at this time.
Thank you. We plan on reviewing our budget with the Budget Review Committee later this month, and hope to have that for our December 1st meeting for final approval for our 2026 budget. Just an FYI for people at home listening. That concludes our legislation. We will now go to our city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. The City of Oakwood, with assistance from the Oakwood Beautification Committee, is lighting up Oakwood with luminarias on sale, on Sunday, December 14th, beginning at 6 p.m. Luminarias for this event are available from purchase at the Oakwood Community Center starting today. The cost is $6 per dozen and includes white bags, sand, and 10-hour candles. Residents interested in volunteering with this project can call the OCC for more information. Congratulations to the Oakwood High School girls cross country team for winning their first team state championship in Columbus on Saturday, November 1st. This is an incredible accomplishment and a proud moment for the Oakwood community. The city has launched a community survey to gather input on our parks and recreation facilities. We're asking residents to share their feedback to help us plan for future improvements and ensure our parks continue to meet community needs. The survey can be completed online and can be found on the city's website. The survey will remain open through Friday, December 5th. Lastly, city offices will be closed on Tuesday, November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. We extend our gratitude to all who have served and continue to serve our country. Thank you.
Okay, any questions for our city manager? So we're closed on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. How about that? Okay. And then it is now time for council comments. Councilmember Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to thank everyone who created an exhibit for Scarecrow Row. This event always celebrates our spirit of community, and it showcases individual creativity. It brings people out of their homes and connects them with others. And those exhibits can take hours to put together. So this community engagement is why people like living in Oakwood. So I have 4 comments, I should say that. My second comment is I want to recognize the adults who made Halloween night so much fun for our community. I'm usually confined to my front porch passing out candy, but this year my grandchildren joined me, and so we were able to take turns. And I had the opportunity to see firsthand what goes on the streets of Oakwood during Halloween night. There was a long line to go through at the home of Todd and Stephanie Geller. It was their haunted house at the corner of Lonsdale and Schaefer. Now, this haunted house takes almost a week to construct and a team to manage. Thomas, my 6-year-old grandson, who claims nothing scares me, dropped his entire candy bag soon after we entered, when I guess he wasn't scared. We reported it to the people who go through. We reported it at the entrance of this well-oiled operation, and the bag was retrieved in just seconds. We also noticed today that after 400 people went through this haunted house, they now have a dirt path through their backyard grass. So, and it will take, the dismantling is still going on, but it's the efforts of the people like the Gellers and the Benkes who help them that really engage in our community. And again, it's the reason people like living in Oakwood. Now, another house offered several traditional mechanical claw machines, similar to those found in arcades and amusement parks. Trick-or-treaters stood in line talking to other trick-or-treaters just for the chance to work the machines and try to claw a treat. Another house, just 2 doors down, featured 2 wildly dancing adults in full costume, and before they would pass out candy, the children had to engage dancing with them. I mean, there was so much energy and people of all ages, and that's what the pictures show. The pictures in the lower right show a man, they were simply driving around Oakwood with lights on their little golf course, but it shows you the immense creativity of the people in our community. So third comment is the block party season has come to a close. And I want to thank everyone who welcomed a member of council to their block party gathering to share a little about what had happened in the city this past year. You seem to appreciate learning how many sidewalk panels had been assessed and how many fire hydrants had been flushed for their functionality. Not to mention the new solar panel flashing lights in our school zone and the new pool lining at Gardner Pool. But here's what I learned from you going to many of those block parties. It seems everybody thinks their block has the kindest neighbors, the best food at their neighborhood gatherings, and the best ideas for how to improve the city of Oakwood. So I want to thank all the block party organizers. And finally, I'm glad it's a short meeting tonight. In 2019, Oakwood City Manager asked me to represent the city in a 9-month environmental justice classroom program sponsored by the EPA and conducted through the Miami Valley Planning Commission. As an alumna, I remain in contact with fellow graduates who are actively working toward environmental justice through their various professions. So on October 16th, I participated in a 5-hour bus tour that highlighted the broad scope of environmental justice in the Miami Valley region. Stops included the Dayton Children's Hospital, Dayton Children's Mental Health Facility, and Dayton Children's Kinship Village, currently under construction. It involved the new urgent care Children's Hospital is constructing that's located near the intersection of West 3rd Street and Homeful. We also visited the East Side Community Center, Mission Mary Gardens, and the 2nd Street Market. At each stop, program representatives shared how their services interact with environmental issues like air quality, water pollution, and food safety, all of which can impact a child's well-being. Now, Dayton's Children's Hospital addresses the concerns by providing nutrition education and treating illnesses related to environmental factors. The Kinship Village I mentioned, it's being built to serve families fostering children, whether they're related to those children or not, but they are homeless or in need of frequent medical care. So Dayton Children has taken a holistic approach to community care and is now being recognized for its comprehensive services. I also want to highlight the work of the East End Community Services, which is located just 3 miles from Oakwood's border at 624 Xenia. Since 1997, East End has supported East Dayton with a 2-generational approach aimed at helping children and families thrive. Their services focus on health and wellness, workforce training, youth education, and an impressive range of family coaching services. Also on the tour were current and former county commissioners Carolyn Rice and Debbie Liederman. Both shared their appreciation for Oakwood's interest in the ongoing work related to public health, economic development, and community outreach in the greater region. Seeing how much work being done in the community is truly inspiring, and I know many Oakwood citizens are engaged in the delivery of these services. So thank you also to the City of Dayton Sustainability Office for coordinating the event. So Mayor, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilmember Turbin.
Wow, that's hard to compete with. Well, I was going to remind everybody that tomorrow's election day. Now, woo, this is exciting, right? The polls do open at 6:30 in the morning, and they stay open until 7:30. But I wanted to leave you with a very inspiring quote about voting. And so, of course, I Googled it, inspiring quote for voting. And I went through a lot of them, but this is the one that I liked the best. It was by Thomas Jefferson. And he says, "We do not have government by the majority. We have government by the majority who participate." And so participate tomorrow and cast your vote.
Thank you. Councilmember Stevens.
Yeah, just a couple quick comments. One, let's address that the leaves have started coming down a little slower than normal this year. However, just a reminder to put them out in front of your homes. Don't bag them up. Put them in the street. Little trick I learned that I see a lot of people don't do is make sure when you put the leaves in front of your home, don't put them right up against the curb. Give it like a 5-6 inch gap between the curb and the leaf pile. And that seems silly, but it really makes a difference when it rains. You won't have the big puddles in front of your driveway apron, and you won't have big backups, and the water will flow better in the street that way. You can also take the leaves down to the recycling center, any other yard debris, if you choose to. It's always open. It's a great facility to use. And the only other thing is happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Byington.
No comments this evening.
All right. I just have a couple. One of the things that our Oakwood Public Safety Department does after they do an EMS run, they'll ask the citizen or patient if they would fill out a patient satisfaction survey. It's just a one-pager. And ask, scale of 1 to 5, how satisfied they were with the care. In this particular one, we got a 5 and said the care was the very best. The EMS people, whenever you see them, they're very polite and very professional. And then her final comment was, "This department is one of the very reasons I stay in Oakwood, the very best ever." And then We got another email congratulating Public Safety Officer Wilson. It was from the mother of, yesterday you pulled over my daughter, a 16-year-old new driver who was driving on Far Hills without her lights on. She was quite distressed at being pulled over as she didn't realize the lights don't automatically turn on for her. Although my daughter came home distraught at the experience, she conveyed just how kind and caring Officer Wilson was with her, even helping her understand how to turn on the automatic lights. I am so grateful for your kindness and that you were there to keep her and all the drivers around her safe. I shudder to think how easy it would have been for her to be hit as she wasn't visible to other vehicles. My daughter learned a valuable lesson, and I was reminded of how fantastic public safety is in Oakwood. And then finally, in addition to tomorrow's election, please be certain to vote for Montgomery County Human Service Levy renewal. It is no new taxes and provides outstanding public services, some of which you described in your comments, Healy, to all the citizens of Montgomery County. So with that, our next meeting is going to be on Monday, December 1st, 2025, our last meeting of calendar year 2025, and we are adjourned.